All right, go ahead, John.
Okay, good morning, Niskayuna. It is October 3rd, shortly after 8:30, and we are at Town Hall for our monthly Economic Development and Environmental Conservation Committee meeting. And I suppose we will start with attendance.
Okay, so we have Ann Cassidy Dorian, Elena Finnan, Kelly Diarpino, David Diarpino, Cameron Delarada, Kara Parks, and online we have Matt Yetto.
Very good. And do we have anything from the public this morning?
Yeah, I just checked. I don't have any emails.
Excellent. And the minutes from September 5th?
Second.
Any changes or discussion? All approved?
Aye.
And they pass unanimously. And we have some tentative resolutions, I see.
So, oh, I'm just trying to download briefly. I also put my computer on my table to bring with me today and then left it on my table. So, yeah, it's been a morning. Almost there. Okay. So the first resolution, I thought I'd actually show you guys where we're waiting for the easement. I'm putting it on as tentative again. Actually, Victor Caponera, the attorney for Rivers Ledge, and I realized that we don't need an easement for the parking lot because the parking lot's right here. And when we took the land, an easement for this road, we took the land for the road because we have to own between Aqueduct Road and the Mohawk Hudson Bike Path. We actually took the area of the public parking lot already. So I take one of them off the table.
Can you just skip so I can get my bearings down? Where are we on that map? I kind of, oh, there's your cursor.
Yeah, so
Okay.
this right here is the new senior center. Well, it's not a senior center, the age restricted building at Rivers Ledge.
Okay.
Yeah, the big one right along the road.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is the second entrance into Rivers Ledge.
Okay.
So they built a parking lot, a public parking lot here, so that there's more access to the Mohawk Hudson Bike Hike Trail.
Mhm.
And then they also built a multi-use path from the Mohawk Hudson Bike Hike Trail down to the last part of the aqueduct park that they built.
Yes.
So you can do that circle, except
Yes.
they still have to do the driveway. I mean, the sidewalk.
That was
on the
big.
road. Yeah.
That was big
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah. So they just built this, like, I'm gonna say like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Mhm.
But yeah, we would want an easement there so that the public can always walk through that property on that multi-use path.
And
So
the easement would go through whose property?
Rivers Ledge's property. Yeah. Rivers Ledge is actually pretty good about letting people just walk around, you know, because it's so beautiful. But but I mean, I think when it's a public path, we should always have a public easement.
It's starting to get filled in. But in a couple more years, I think it's gonna look even nicer.
Oh yeah, when the trees get bigger.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We still get complaints occasionally about how much lighting there is there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we maintaining it or maintaining it?
I think anytime we take anything from them, they maintain it,
So we have to have a maintenance. as well?
which we've done on the other ones. I can look if that is outlined or not. The roads, it was very clearly outlined that would be them, but they are usually the ones that do those things. Because they like the property to be very just so. That's fine. So that just depends on if Victor can get me the easement or not. He's sending out the surveyors. It did get built. So it's just a time frame on their side. I did still put the water line from Rivers Ledge. Matt has to write that one.
Is that Rivers
Oh, we didn't
Run?
do that one on the left.
I'm sorry, Laura, is that Rivers Run pedestrian path, gravel? Or is it
No,
gonna be,
it's
it's
paved.
gonna be,
Yeah.
is it already?
It's already paved. You can walk down it. It's
That's
really,
great. I'm gonna have to get down there.
yeah, it's nice because technically the aqueduct park that Rivers Ledge put all of that, you know, with the aqueduct stones and the winding trails and the outlooks that need to have the trees cut down a little. You can't actually really get those from the Mohawk Hudson Bike Trail because it crosses at Aqueduct Park, Aqueduct Road, and then it goes down and then it just keeps going. So you either have to walk down Aqueduct Road or you have to park at Aqueduct Park.
Oh,
So this would be okay if you wanted to go down there or you were on the Mohawk Hudson Bike Trail, you'd be able to take a right and go down to that park and see the river.
Perfect.
Yeah. And they did a good job. And they're also gonna plant a bunch of trees and stuff along it too. So Aaron, oh, Matt, you're here. Can you try really hard to get the water line accepted from Rivers Ledge for Elena this month?
They haven't had their committee meeting yet, so let's bring it up then too.
I am happy to help, but he has the information on the water line. Next one is a resolution to appoint a member to the zoning board of appeals. I'm keeping that one as tentative too. I have 2 vacancies for full-time members. We now have 4 alternate members. 2 of the alternate members cannot be regular members. So I haven't heard from either of the alternate members if they're willing to be a regular member, but I don't know if we want to actually have them at a couple meetings too. So, or we get another resume for a alternate member, I can still take 1 more. Essentially, I'm still 3 members down on the zoning board of appeals. Better than it was, though. It was like 5, so. And then the last one is a tentative resolution to call for a public hearing for a special use permit to have a house of worship and a single family home at 3406 Albany Street. The planning board had their public hearing, and it does need to go to the zoning board for an area variance. It's actually more related to the construction of their building than that needs a special use permit, but their building is having the use changed. They're requesting the use change from a garage to a house of worship. So I just wanted to touch base with you really quick if the planning board does a recommendation to the zoning board on that one. But generally speaking, the town board could call for a public hearing on the project for next meeting, or they could wait until the zoning board meeting and call for a public hearing in November. I think you guys have seen that site plan before.
That probably makes more sense, doesn't it?
So the zoning board case isn't necessarily related to the special use permit.
Right.
It's because they received a building permit to put the rear of the garage back in the exact same spot, and they built it like 3 feet over where they were supposed to build it. It's actually related to the issuance of the garage permit.
That I sent the email about.
The side yard is the same as when it was issued.
The map though, when it was issued, had the building at like 20, I'm just putting numbers out there. It was like 20 feet wide, and then it showed 15 feet side yard setbacks, but that wasn't possible based on the amount of frontage and it being a rectangular lot.
So the frontage that you were worried about, it was 50 feet and 50 feet. It wasn't 50 feet total. It was 100 feet. It was just labeled really weird. I
It
did
makes
look at
sense
that.
with what's in my mind, but we can talk.
Yeah,
about
I
it.
can show you. When you sent that email,
But then
they don't need a side yard. Their whole, the width
the
of
map
the
is totally wrong then.
lot.
But
The map is labeled very sneakily. I'll show you.
So could they do a lot line adjustment with somebody to get around the variance, or? is the variance
No,
gonna
because
get
it's actually, they're a through lot. This one up here is Albany. This one down here is Gasner. And what happened is like the original footprint for their building was like up here, and they went 2 or 3 feet this way. So it's too close to the Gasner operator.
Okay.
Yeah. Which nobody realized until they did a survey for the special use permit, which honestly, like, we don't require as-built for garage, when people build garages. So most of the time, they would have built it back and we would have never noticed, but they're going for the special use permit. So, and I mean, a lot of times people build it back and they do it as close as they can, but once the earth is all moved.
Pretty good sized garage.
Well, that's the place that they wanted to, it's really a house. They redid it and made it a house. So it doesn't even have garage door now. This structure here is the house of worship. I'm probably stealing your thunder with your planning
that's
board
okay,
report,
yeah.
but do you want to talk about the public hearing?
Sure. So we had the public hearing. There was a lot of support from the neighbors and businesses that were on Albany Street that came and spoke publicly on it.
Mhm.
They've obviously built a really good rapport with the neighbors there. They pretty much just operate on Sundays. They have an occasional event throughout the rest of the year where they actually have some some gatherings there. And then any major gatherings, they actually told us at the last meeting that they actually take them outside off-site. So they're not, they might be at a public park or something like that.
Yeah.
So when
They
we
got a
were,
big congregation, or don't you know?
no, it's very small. It's
It's
very
very
small. The monk resides in the single family home that's there. The issue that came up was that when we were working through a lot of the zoning review and then the special use permit, they hired a site engineer. We got the full plans. We talked about parking, and it triggered this whole review. So at the last planning board meeting, the planning department put together this checklist of what they have to do, because it's a pretty interesting project as far as what the path is they have to take. So we discussed at the last meeting, if we need to do a zoning board recommendation based on whatever the finding is, we will do that at the October meeting to keep that moving forward. But in conjunction with that, we're still working on the special use permit recommendation of the town board. So public
Was it all positive comments or did any speak?
there was one person that talked about just on-street parking, I think mostly on Gasner.
Mhm.
That was a concern. It was a resident in, I believe, the units over to the left there.
Yeah, I think they live on Gaster.
They probably keep the grounds pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not strewn with,
Right.
garbage or litter or anything like that.
Yeah.
The thing that they have is they queue up the parking on Albany Street on what would be like just an extendedly wide driveway in front of the house. There's a small fence that's there. They can pull in towards the building where there's a long concrete driveway that's there. And then they utilize a little parking pad that's shared with another neighbor that's to the left of them on Albany Street on the map, that comes in off Gasner. So they've got a set of gates that come in the back. They've mulched it. There's benches.
Yeah.
They obviously put in quite a bit of investment into this building, but like Laura said, there's no garage doors. There's a single 30-inch wide door that's there. There's lighting, no heating, no insulation,
Okay.
no bathroom. So we're looking at this to say, okay, can you work with the house that's there to make all these criteria meet? And then we're gonna have to work on these findings in order to give it to the town board. But in general, they are very well received. They integrated in. The building does not stand out. It's not like a height issue. In fact, if you didn't know what was there, you would think it's just
I'm
a
looking at
large
it
garage in the
here,
back.
Yeah.
They have a parking agreement with Upstate Guns and Ammo, which is the red dash line there. That's a written agreement. And I believe, Graham's, Katrin came to the public hearing. She said that she would write a letter too, allowing overflow parking. And that's the next lot, basically up to the left.
Well, I'm easy on the timing. What do you think, Karen?
Yeah, I don't have a preference really.
It's gonna take one before the other anyways.
We have the consolidated month because.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're on the 16th.
When's early voting start again? When's early voting start?
The 25th, so our meeting is the 23rd.
Normally it'd be the
Thursday
28th, but it's the Thursday before.
And the planning board meeting is the 20th, but you're just calling for a public hearing.
No, because now my Scotia nights have been moved to Glenville on Mondays because Scotia courtroom is getting part of the town hall and the police station is getting a much needed.
So you can be there that Thursday?
I should
Bill
be,
can't be,
yeah.
right? Bill's out this one, I think.
Double
I
check.
thought he said he could be. John can do it.
So it's Thursday, the
23rd. Budget workshop.
Thursday, the 23rd. Yes, I'm good. And my phone now.
The thing came up in conversation.
Well,
So
we can.
I mean, we can
leave
leave it as a
Yeah.
tentative and see.
Yeah.
what the planning board-
Um,
So we have finance at night at 6:30.
Not finance, but budget workshops. I don't know what time they start.
Okay.
5:30. And so mine's like 6:45.
I moved the Niskuna building fees down to discussions because I don't want to keep having it as a tentative until we're pretty sure that we can put it on. And I think you and I need to, it's just been so busy. And I just don't know how we'll be able to squeeze it on in October because it's a shorter meeting too. So I put that down as discussions and we'll just keep working on it till the end of the year. And then hopefully we'll have time that we can move it back up to a resolution. Planning board report, do you want to go, David?
Sure. So we worked with 2757 Aqueduct Road, Niskuna Harbors. They submitted an updated site package. They've been reworking the units to spread them out a little bit more, diversified, and give us a little bit more information on the types of units, how many there are. And then the other big piece of that is the bike path crossing application to get that moving forward. They looked at what they're going to do to try to develop waterfront. So it's in progress, moving forward pretty well. I believe they checked off all of their wetland related items in their initial packet that they went through. So it's moving forward. And I think the planning board feels it's moving in a positive direction.
What are you thinking for an overall timeline?
Probably spring, they might wrap up something as far as what their formal final plan will be. And I don't know how long the application package takes for the bike path crossing.
I don't remember that either, actually.
Yeah, it's in motion.
It's funny because this kind of project goes back and forth between the planning board and town board a lot. And when planning board to town board, now it's back to planning board, then I'll have to go to town board. I'll have to go to planning board before they can build. So it still has to go for preliminary PUD approval to you guys. You just allowed the application.
So a year from like this
So it'll be a
construction.
while.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Would be fast.
Well, it depends on the applicant too. I think if they're moving forward pretty good, you know, each version that we're seeing is getting better. There's connectivity things that they're doing. There's takeaways. They've been responsive, but then disappear for a couple months and then they come back. So.
Well, another thing that's kind of been a balance with them is that like Rivers Ledge really invested a ton of money into public infrastructure. Like they redid that park in the front. They just made that multi-use path. They made public parking lots. And we haven't really seen the public sort of infrastructure side of this project.
They don't have as much though.
They do.
And they do, they really, they can
Yeah.
piggyback a little bit on theirs, but
Yeah. They have wetlands and stuff in their Erie Canal bed, but you know, they can.
anticipating funding issues or no, that's more of a private.
Yeah, their price point is going to be economically driven. So it's going to be young starters and maybe people that are empty nesters. They're not jumping into the luxury. So what affordable is, whatever their price point is. We've asked them that question. We don't know if it's going to be in the low 200s. Do they think it's in the low 300s is affordable? Like those questions haven't been answered yet, but we'll find out as they kind of work through.
Affordable has gotten to be a pretty gray area.
Yeah.
To say the least. There is definitely a market for young upstarts. I mean, I see that in downtown Schenectady, the apartments that they built in downtown. The couple above my office, I mean, they're in their, you know, high 20s, young 30s, just starting out at whatever job at in downtown or Knowles or wherever. So that's excellent. That's a really exciting project.
Rivers Ledge did a fair number of negotiation with the town board on public infrastructure and fees. So the town board reduced some of their fees to offset the investment they did with the infrastructure too. So just something to keep in mind.
7 Seneca Road had a resolution passed for site plan modifications for the drainage on the front road. So that one is now getting wrapped up. We also had ZBA referral, which was 1 Glen Eddy Drive. That's the pavilion that they wanted to build directly behind the building on the area that's got a concrete pad. They found out that when their original design came in, there was a height variance of just over 6 feet. We talked to them about, they wanted to try to change it to make it meet zoning, and they felt that the type of structure, the lighting, where it sits, they wanted to keep it as is. So we gave them a recommendation to go to zoning. Let's see, we have, was 1475 Trustco Bank had site plan modifications. That was a resolution that we voted on at the last meeting. So that one is in the books. They're going to be moving forward with that. Mizan Kitchen is at 4240 Council Road. That's the old Stewart's. So she made it her way through zoning, and we did the site plan approval at the last meeting. She's working on her signage. Talked about parking and some improvements on that corner, but it's like everything's headed in the right direction for her.
You have a fair amount to your renovation.
What's she gonna have there again?
Bakery.
Bakery. Middle Eastern bakery.
Yeah,
Participants or something.
like, Stewart's on steroids, so to speak.
She brought in some of that baklava she made for a party over the summer today. It's,
Okay,
this is like the best I've ever had.
she's gonna make her own stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it's,
She does everything from scratch.
yeah, it's
Oh,
a
that
full
would be a
kitchen.
great
It's
addition.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be-
coffee. It's got specialty coffees and teas. There's a little seating area in there. It's mostly going to be for takeout. It's in dining and good location. So
So it'd be the same parking configuration, Tyler?
it is right now. Yeah, she is going to take an area off the back corner and landscape that, do a container around the dumpster, try to clean up that corner, and then the back area side, I think where Stewart's kind of used all their staging and everything, you won't see that type of stuff collected right there.
It's right on the corner.
It's right on the corner.
Nothing. It's a typical Stewart's. There's no, like, the entrance and exit are just.
It's open.
Yeah.
There's a planter on the corner that's
They can, be-
demarcates the corner.
they can be pretty hairy places to get in.
Yeah.
The Stewart's can, high traffic. Really. That's it, right? Because they're always, they have those, that's what they do.
Yes.
They just corners, man.
Well, part of the resolution is striping that they have to do, and they're gonna put in some ghost lines and demarcate the parking, so that should help. Because,
So much traffic is still right. So it's not that big of a concern. I'm surprised they weren't raised islands back in the day. That particular spot, just to control the egress, but that was part of it.
Stewart's. It's like a weird Stewart's to begin with.
Before Stewart's, it was like a convenience store
Right.
or something, so a
Yeah.
long time, like
60s.
60s, yeah, before our zoning.
Just an overall question. So now that she got a zoning variance, anybody else that would have that spot later on still has to go through a zoning variance?
Their bakery.
Unless it's a bakery. Okay.
And it was my understanding that for what, was it 10 or 20 years that Stewart's has some type of either.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, that was one of the main points that the CAC kind of made in their recommendation, that it didn't have any environmental impacts, is that it's less intense use than the pre-existing non-conforming that was there. Because Stewart sold all kinds of things like milk, egg, lottery tickets, everything. And this, I mean, is probably gonna be the yummiest bakery we've ever had, but it's still probably gonna be a much less intense use than the Stewart's, so.
It's the only one in this unit? Because I think the
Bakery?
whiskey business is in Schenectady, right?
It's on your-
Yeah, so wow, that's exciting.
The mobile and Stewart's is in Schenectady?
No,
No,
bakery,
that's in-
for a bakery.
Oh, the bakery.
Yeah, whiskey business, they have it there.
I didn't realize that.
I'm really, I didn't know these guys.
Actually, have you had their key lime bar?
No.
It's really good.
They make their own ice cream sandwiches in there too.
So one research circle is Evernova. They had a signage package that finally wrapped up their other campus entrance. So now I think they've had 5 resolutions that we've worked on. Very, very large campus renovation project. They've done landscaping, two signage packages, extension to buildings, outdoor space. They are aggressively moving forward with everything that's been approved. And probably within a couple of years, we'll have everything fully built out, I think, on their time plan, including the DAC buildings.
All right.
They have been a very, very, very busy applicant. 3461 State Street is Trusco Bank. So this is the one down at the end. They are going to do some exterior renovations. The big issue with that is two things: sidewalk connectivity that's down there, and then they're looking at doing some exterior lighting. The lighting that they want to do is band course lighting, which is LEDs.
Just before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Square?
This is
Yeah, it's right over between Mansion Square.
right.
They actually withdrew, David.
Oh, did they?
Here the day before.
Oh, did they? Okay. They're not,
Totally withdrew.
okay.
But I mean, if they ever come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they put road rolling.
Yeah, they wanted to put, so the last time we saw an applicant with that was Dave's Hot Chicken. And they wanted to do LED lighting, red lighting all the way around the top and something like that. So that one was vetted out pretty hard. We discussed that briefly and then talked about what their LED lighting is. As a planning board, we feel that we're going to be seeing a lot more lighting request packages because of two reasons. One, LED lighting is so easy to integrate into new construction. You don't need, it's very thin, it doesn't take a lot of power. It can easily adapt, and it's not like running these huge can lights where there's a huge box up above there and you need to take the whole cornice off and everything. These guys can come in, they can have a, reveal that big, they can put ropes in, they can put huge cans in. The intensity of some of these LED lights too is really bright. We're finding this out post approval that after it's built and then, months later or a year later, somebody drives by at night and they send you a picture and say, wow. So we're taking a little bit harder look. It's going to be one of our checklist things that we do for most applicants as they come through. And then 420 Balltown Road is
There's a way, or there's not really a way to point lights down.
no, there is.
All
Oh,
individual, yeah, but all the individual bulbs they're gonna shine out. You'd have to have almost like a.
no, it
They can
depends.
actually, even the signs, the LED signs.
Sure,
and-
Sure, they can make reflectors, they can direct them, the intensity. There's a lot of stuff that they can do with lighting. It's not just the old can lights, and they can dim it down. I mean, they could be at the planning board and they can control it from their phone if they choose to. So that's the beauty of what we're seeing. And applicants have been really, really respectful of requests to, turn down lighting at night or turn it off, put things on timers. It's been working out pretty well in the last couple of projects.
So the ones that are on top of, because you guys how great they were, retro.
Probably not. I mean, I wouldn't know what enforcement would have. Good.
We have a lighting plan that's approved by the planning board. I can enforce that.
Yeah.
If it's not specific, then our standard becomes unreasonable glare, and that's a tough standard. For me to litigate, actually.
Makes sense.
Judge out.
Let's go there in the box.
Just something that's been with some frequency that we haven't really seen before. So now we're. And then last one was 420 Balltown Road. That's the community bank. They had application, and that's where the Taco Bell was. So they're building a new building there. Had a very nice compliant sign package that came through. And then the Trusco Bank across the street over here is putting in a new ATM. We are working with them on the overhang of the ATM, the tightness of where that is, sidewalk improvements and accessibility improvements coming in off of Knott Street.
Just why do you still have physical buildings? People don't go to banks anymore. I do, but nobody else does.
No, I do.
Do you?
Chase Bank, like, their bread and when they came to Mohawk Commons and they took the old, what was that building they took?
Was that the Ruby Tuesdays?
Ruby Tuesdays.
Mhm.
They told us that their bread and butter was the brick and mortar.
Okay. Interesting.
No, Friendly's was here. Yeah, that was.
I miss Friends.
So, I know, it was a great place.
Right, yeah, and they had that window you could go up to outside.
think those wages are paid anyway, so it's all like, it's, you know, like, give 12% tips, but we enjoyed it.
They were kind of, I don't know, this wasn't inexpensive, wasn't like,
Remember.
I think so. But it was good, great ice.
$8 for a hot dog meal. And it was
The
like,
kids know those.
yeah.
Yeah, they were. And then your Sunday was like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes.
You can still go to the Friendlies in Clifton Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like one of the last Friendlies.
It is. And it's struggling.
Uh,
So yeah, we've been active. We have one meeting in October and one in November. So but we've been reaching out to the applicants, letting them know what the schedules are.
And they're since we got their special use permit approved, so we're putting them back on for this month.
That's the Kia dealership.
Shoot, we gotta skip around a bit, cause I gotta go.
Okay.
Or, and I keep, dropping the ball on that sidewalk project, Mr. Cosmo. You
Okay, all
gotta bug me more on it.
right, I can bug you
Shoot
more.
me a text, and say, get that man a call,
All right, I will.
and I will do that. I saw some outreach on the linkage study, which was good.
Mhm.
Informative. The Architectural Review Board and the Eastern Parkway Building Review.
So the property's changed hands and Frank Barbera owns it now. And C2 Design is redone. They're keeping the footprint because the foundation is in. So instead of having the call it vertical board siding and some gable roofs there, they've gone to a more contemporary design. It's a flat roof. It's got some raised panels. There was a rendering that I took a look at with Clark, and the planning department has it. The interesting thing about this is that 2 of the ARB members have to recuse themselves on a project that was referred to them to review any of the exterior things. So we may decide to kick it back to planning just to take a look at what it is.
That sounds like they're dumbing it down. From a
No.
gable to a flat roof.
No, it's a more contemporary, put it that way. So
Is it like super modern?
What does that mean?
that's,
Some pictures now.
yeah,
Building materials are it's probably higher end.
yes, yeah, there's some metal panels and wood grain items. They're keeping the same commercial to residential balance of program, I believe. It's just, and the site plan is not changing. It's just the exterior elevations they weren't really keen on.
Mhm.
From when I think Borderowski owned it and then flipped it over. So anyways, there's, because of the ARB's involvement, we're just trying to figure out if maybe planning should take another look at it. So we'll discuss that internally.
Sense. No, Mr. Strayer today. Missed that.
Yeah, I think he's up in Canada. actually.
Very nice, very nice. Is there anything else of ultra importance? I gotta get.
Can pop away. The one thing that Dart probably would have said happily is that we did get our climate smart certification finally. Yeah, we are allowed to now. Kelly and I could write up something nice and we could put it in our newsletter too. And actually they gave us a plaque that we can put on the outside or inside of our building. That's pretty nice. So when you walk in, you can know that we're a climate smart certified.
And what does that entail money wise?
Yeah, it definitely opens up more grants and awards and things like that. It also is a recognition of everything that the town has been doing. So like to remind people, we're actually a very efficient government and we have pretty low emissions compared to most other governments.
Like,
So like, yes,
like 1%,
Like,
2%.
even though we have a wastewater treatment plant, which a lot of people don't. So like that's even more impressive. Yeah, it's true. That probably helps.
Almost self-sufficient. Is it self-sufficient?
Like,
We're getting there.
I think they haven't even started running that. So I mean, they have, but not to the max capacity.
Yeah.
So I think we even have more ability to reduce
I
that down. Yeah.
we will next year. They fix that one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Matt's always
That's
talking to me
big.
about it. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it's called.
That would,
Is that what it is?
Scrubber.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again?
There's new media in this family.
Wow.
The methane is getting converted. And bigger and run the plant.
Some control stuff here, there's numbers rolling. I didn't know there were dollar bills in that thing.
Captured and Jeff goes back in and rather than getting revealed and nothing is a balance.
For the dumpster.
It's huge.
Oh, yeah, those are huge.
Some.
That sludge dryer, man. I love it. Bigger future with the sludge dryer.
So, yeah, it's also just, I think it's important to recognize when the town is working hard on stuff like that,
It's been going on, because this is before me. I know when I came on, we were just talking about approving all this stuff for the wastewater.
right,
treatment.
so, I mean, even if you're not a big greenhouse gas emissions fan, it's tied into energy savings and it's
Mhm.
tied into money savings, right? So
Absolutely.
when you find a government efficiency, it's not just the bottom line for greenhouse gases, it's the bottom line for budget.
Yeah,
There's a lot that goes along with it, so,
it's a win-win,
yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
And it was very good that somebody started this program way
DEC.
before us.
Yeah.
You know, it had to be more than 12 years ago.
Yeah, because some of them have been certified now for a while, and I think there's a 5 or 10 year period that you have to recertify yourself. So once you're certified, you don't stay certified if you don't keep trying. Yeah. So.
And it required change, which people don't like. Even changing light bulbs. I can remember going through discussion after discussion over light bulbs. From the incandescent, I think, over to LED and this, that, and the other. But
Every
same,
here is LED.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, you can pop out and I'll
Good,
just
good,
finish up. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, and we will see you all soon. Hope you enjoyed your
23rd.
summer. I'm sorry?
I said you'll see us on the 23rd.
Yeah.
No, I'll see you before then. I know,
Yes.
I'm just
Oh, okay, yeah.
making sure.
Yeah, agenda meeting. Yeah, next Tuesday. Oh, the agenda meeting, that.
No,
I think it's after.
no,
Oh,
because
you're
the
right.
second.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Well done. Thank you. Happy fall.
So basically,
Yes, don't fall too hard.
Everybody kind of has to have everything to me for the meeting, like the day after the agenda meeting, but the agenda meeting comes late.
Oh, yeah, and then I think that's when we moved it to Thursday. This year. Yeah. Okay. So Climate Smart Communities grant, haven't heard anything yet, though I feel like it's gotta be getting close, because I'm pretty sure that the fall is when they tell you whether or not you get it.
Once we figure that out, I talked to Bill about doing a streets presentation and kind of like a community discussion so that
Yeah, that's fine. We're really pretty close with those designs, so we want to have a meetings with them anyway.
and then I put it in the matches budget for next year. But we should go over what we're allowed to use. I'll show it to you. I just
Okay.
want to make sure. I do.
Yeah, a lot of times because we're touching curb ramps, we use ADA.
Okay, so I was gonna do 150, what we would have budgeted for.
For ADA, yeah, you can
Okay.
use that, yeah. You can't use it on new stuff, but we're touching old sidewalks and stuff, so then it
We
could,
can use it there.
Mhm,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
the linkage study grant. Yeah, so we said this now, I think a couple of times, but the study advisory committee is meeting on October 14th to go over the concepts that the consultant has been working on. And then we plan to do a in-person public outreach meeting here in town hall with tables and big printouts of the concept drawings,
Great.
in mid-November. And that will be a really good place for people to come and look at the ideas and give us feedback. So that we can get that plan finalized, hopefully, by the end of the year, early next year. And then that should drive some funding.
Did we use the ADA money, all of the ADA money this year? I don't remember.
So I think we decided to use the ADA money for the plum,
I'll go look.
or
I don't
not
remember.
Palmer. Because originally we used the Palmer from last year, but then it didn't carry forward. So I think we decided to use it this year, right?
Okay.
But they probably didn't take all of it. My guess
Well,
is
that's
there's
something
some
I've
left.
got a few pieces in front of St. Catherine that I keep, it's been like sitting here and I don't know if we have enough to fix it this year, but
I think you probably do.
okay. I'm gonna go look.
Gonna be
Yeah,
in
for
short,
sure.
right? Yeah. And then the Mohawk River Watershed Grant for the NRI. I'd actually taken that off of the regular update, but we received reimbursement, so. That was completely done and we got reimbursed. And that was mostly done by a show, so. Show on that one. Complete streets. Yeah, so to Aaron's point, we do want to meet with neighbors on the Birchwood and the Cornelia sidewalks, and they do so much work on the linkage study. It's just a constant source of them working hard. On tree council, the summer photo contest closed. We received 18 photos. We're gonna meet on Monday to look at them all and announce the winners. I got to look at some of them ahead of time and they're really cool. So, thank you to everyone who submitted their summer photos. We do think that we will try and make a calendar now of the 3 winners for each season, put them in the calendar, and then maybe a couple of the honorable mentions and then start in the back. And then they've been working really hard on the fall tree planting with Ray and Pete. I think that Pete just called in locates for 10 trees and trying to get them ordered from Northern. So hopefully you'll see trees going in the ground like this week, hopefully. And then we are going to try and do one more round if we can this year. So thank you to the highway department for that. And the tree council, because that's a lot of work. They meet with all the owners and put the stakes in the ground and everything. And then the comprehensive plan committee, I attached the kind of draft schedule for you guys here. It's gonna be really tight, but we're just gonna have to push through it. So we have a couple of rough draft meetings, and then we'll get the rough draft to the town board and the planning board on October 31st. Then DART is gonna do a presentation to the town board on November 13th. Based on any feedback from that meeting, we can continue to update the draft. And then Leslie had said she wanted a public hearing at the planning board. So timing wise, they're only 3 days apart, but some people are comfortable coming to planning board meetings and some people are comfortable coming to town board meetings. So I think that's okay.
Tight meeting. That's our budget hearing too.
Well, we can push them to the planning board for public comment, but you have to have a public hearing for I don't think we can only do it.
Yeah, I don't
know.
I don't like having it on the summer time.
That's the day.
Right.
Well, I guess you could do
Or
your
do you-
public hearing in
Is
December.
that gonna be our
Can you
regular
do
meeting?
your public hearing and in the same month though? Because then you've got,
The problem is that it has to be
can we do a special meeting?
Thursday, or the second Thursday. It has to be before the second Thursday after election day.
Oh, you're gonna change the November 20th date.
I mean,
Are we?
that means we gotta come in and do it, not on a board meeting.
Well, could we do a special meeting for the agenda meeting in December? We could do the public hearing at the
For you
agenda.
guys?
Yeah,
Yeah, that.
and then we could do potential adoption at the end of December.
But are you worried about budget on the
I
20th?
just feel like there's so much budget stuff there that I don't wanna get. Like, I feel like comprehensive plan, like, it's such an important document that I don't wanna lose
Then we'll do
people
special,
because of all the budget stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
special meeting for
Okay,
December.
so let me update that then. So would that be okay? We could just do the public hearing at a special meeting and then,
Try the adoption for the 18th.
yeah, and that.
Let's just.
Okay, I need to do that. That gives more time between public hearings too, which I think.
It's probably better.
Yeah, it is. Mhm. Okay.
No,
Oh,
wait, you get it.
for building department enforcement, I wanted to let you guys know, Hannaford submitted a lot of internal renovations. It doesn't really trigger planning board, but I mean, the rolls are huge. So you may see if you're a Hannaford shopper and it's Una, definitely doing some reflooring and things like that. Big things. And then sad Blaze Pizza closed in Mohawk Commons.
You know what happened there? Was
I
that?
went talking to them and they said that, there's not enough traffic. I think it's hard because you can see it from State Street sort of, but you can't like get there, and then you have to drive up Balltown Road and like come back. So,
It's too bad they weren't able to get the building where the new bank is going in. You'll talk about,
yeah,
would have been ideal,
yeah,
because especially in the center.
so, yeah. It's a bummer.
The Dollar Tree's close too,
It's fine.
That was
The
struggling,
one on-
wasn't it?
on 7 and
So we knew that
Close
one was
it.
gonna close. No, that one, the owner just didn't renew the lease with Dollar, the lease with Dollar.
We had
Tree.
a month to month.
Spot. Good job.
Yeah. They
Knowing
had
this
told us they were gonna
information.
close.
yeah, so they had picked it up a couple weeks ago, and I drive by it daily.
It is finally
I
closed.
think it's finally.
That's a bummer. That one had particularly good crap.
Yes, it
Actually. Yeah.
really did.
Yeah.
One of the planning things that we're concerned about is that when we have a building of that footprint, which is kind of mid-size, it doesn't attract a lot of tenants. It's sometimes too big for a small tenant, not large enough for a bigger tenant. And that corner just seems to be, you know, even though it gets a ton of traffic, you would think it'd be a great spot for that. And buildings have not done well there, even when it was a pharmacy and
Into it is awkward. It's similar to Blaze Pizza concept, because you have to go all the way.
You need to have something like unique there that's not like, you know what I mean, like, there's Dollar Trees all over, so.
Yeah.
But that's not expensive. Think about size.
No, they look smaller.
Well, they do know that.
Yes.
The parking lot is sufficient for a Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
I think there used to be like an old Walmart.
Yes, yes.
Every time we
Yeah.
Should just call them.
Should they check?
Well, the problem is Walmart holds on to that building and they wouldn't sell it to a Trader Joe's. Because of the competition thing.
Yeah.
They're so great, they're not even the same.
Was it right on? So they have like a whole department.
Yeah, it's called the Dark Stores Department or something like that.
When is that up, that 10-year?
I don't know, but I mean, I don't think it hurts them a whole lot, but we did enact the vacant code and they are a vacant commercial store, so it does double every year.
God.
But I mean, it's like $1,000, so it doubles every year, so in like 5 years, it'll be like $16,000.
But it's been vacant for a while, it's gotta be.
Right? It really has to be at least like close to 10 years ago that it closed, because it closed like almost right after.
No,
the
it's
open.
no, it hasn't been that long.
It's been like maybe.
It's been a while. but-
There's
Yeah.
seven.
It was open when I moved and I moved in.
Yeah. Yeah, but we didn't enact the vacant code registration until like 2 years ago, so I think we're only at $4,000.
Interesting.
But hopefully maybe that helps. It may not be a big drop in their bucket, but maybe. And then property maintenance complaints, we've been getting a lot of
I'm getting a
junk
lot.
in the rear yard kind of thing, and I'd say generally speaking, frustration with the building department. I've been really checking what the building inspectors are doing. Though I have one that I'm meeting with them today on, which I haven't checked yet, but a lot of times it's really not truly a code violation. So I completely understand, that the way that some people maintain their yard is very different from the way that other people maintain their yard. And I can feel the frustration with the building department right now, but we have a pretty clear set of standards for bringing, cases to the court. So we'll do our best. They have been on the rise lately. Probably just the time of year, I guess. Then I don't actually have drainage analysis and coordination with the water sewer engineering and highway. I know Clark had said that he wants to do another internal meeting. Oh, whoops.
I thought we were done.
Sorry, you guys. Well, we're basically done. So, we're still moving forward on that. Clark's coordinating another meeting, I think. Did you have anything from legal, Elena?
Just have that one case going through court with a trial date set for it.
Is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We have a
Um,
trial date in early November.
okay. I have the information sitting on the desk in there for, I think, a report, so I have to go.
That's, I would vote a lot.
Okay. Like everything about it to him?
I'm conflicted out of it,
Okay.
so I can't handle it.
And then Rita let me know that she couldn't come today, but, she would send her historic preservation report to Trish and I today or Monday, so. That's it? I don't have anything more. Just one of you guys want to make a motion to agree?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Matt.
Does anybody have updates on the